Welcome to Espresso Yourself, the podcast where mom life, running life, and teaching life collide.
We're three women juggling lesson plans, long runs, and real life chaos, sharing honest conversations about motherhood, miles, and making a difference in and out of the classroom.
Whether you're listening on a run, in the carpool line, or hiding out with your coffee, you're in the right place.
So lace up,
Tune in,
And let's do life together.
welcome back to Espresso Yourself. This week, we are going to catch up on Becky's spring break and the last 4 days before I finally get my spring break, as today is a little bit of a teaser. You can see that I am outside today in a tank top. Indiana weather is finally feeling like spring, on the verge of summer, so yay to that. However, tomorrow I will not be outside in a tank top because we're about to be back to 40 and Indiana's just up, down, up, down. But while it's nice, I am taking full advantage of this beautiful weather that we have today. And Oliver's baseball practice got moved to outside so we can enjoy the weather outside during practice and not cooped up. And it's an earlier practice and not a late practice. So amen to that. And amen to also not having any schoolwork this weekend to work on. That has been amazing. That never happens. But we're on the verge of spring break, so there's not a whole lot to do. But yeah. So Becky, how has your spring break been?
Okay, so we've had this tradition every year to go to spring training games. Now, in Florida, there's a ton of baseball parks that have spring training that are so close to us. The Tampa Bay Rays play close to us. The Atlanta Braves play so close to us. There's also Red Sox. There's, I don't know, all these teams. Well, my husband's family, um, we all grew up in Illinois, but his family is a Cardinals fan. Like, they love the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Cardinals play on the east side of the state in Jupiter. So we've been going every year, watch a couple of games. Well, this year when we went, and I sent the girls a text in our group message, but we found out that they have a new summer league, I think is what it is. And there's a couple of summer leagues. One is the Jupiter Hammerhead. So their mascot is a hammerhead shark. But the other one is the frozen iguanas. And I just like, I love that we have been talking about, like, in the cold weather, that Florida, like, as soon as these iguanas get cold, they freeze up and then they fall from trees. And so not only do we have 4 souvenir cups, just from, like, getting soda or whatever, but I also, oh my gosh, I wore this for like 2 days straight. I also got it's Palm Beach frozen iguana. So I got myself a sweatshirt. Oh my gosh, it is so comfy. But I told my husband, I said, I am getting a sweatshirt. And usually, like, I don't like to get stuff because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna wear it. And none of the t-shirts appeal to me, but the sweatshirt, oh my gosh. Frozen
I love it.
iguanas, Palm Beach frozen iguanas, like, I'm here. I'm here for it. So that was like, other than other than having like a major, major sinus headache for one of the days while we were away. But like, the weather was gorgeous and we stayed in a super cute house and the games were good. Like, the Cardinals won both of the games.
How do you cook this?
I'm in the middle.
How do you cook?
Can you wait a moment? Asking how to cook mashed potato.
That was my conversation before we hopped on, because I was like, okay, my kids are going to need fed and be dressed. And Oliver pops his head out on the porch. I'm like, do you know how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich? He's like,
Peanut butter and jelly.
no. I'm like, first of all, you should know how to make a peanut butter jelly. And I'm pretty sure he does. But he's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I can't remember if he mentioned it or I did, but he's like, there's pizza. I'm like, yep, you know how to heat up pizza. So go reheat the pizza and eat it. I'll figure out your brother later. Like, I just need you fed and dressed for practice. We're going to have to start working on the cooking.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Carson's good with some of that. He'll put in like pretzel bites in the oven, but I'm like, I told you I was recording.
Did you guys just hear that?
Mom, I'm not.
I hear the crying.
What just happened?
Hazy's eye came out.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, good thing my husband just got home, right? Daddy's home?
Oh.
I hope so. I thought that I heard the garage. I thought I saw the
guess.
garage door. Oh, dear Lord. I really hope he's home. Oh my gosh, guys. I
Oh no.
I
It's like
literally
one of
had a
those days.
notification. I had a notification on my phone that the garage door was open and closed. I really hope he is.
Was it one of the
'Cause
kids?
no, I hear my husband. I hear him. I don't know why or how his eye popped out. So here's my life. Things you never thought you'd hear. My son's eye just popped out. Yay. So for
And
those
if you're
listeners that
just-
don't know, yeah,
Yep.
my son has
Yeah.
a prosthetic eye. Dad's got it okay. My son has a prosthetic eye. And so things you never thought you'd hear as a mom or probably a listener, but you just never know when his eye is going to fall
Mhm.
out, just like those falling iguanas.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. Also praise the fact that it's a professional day tomorrow. So I have an entire day to work in my classroom. Yes, coming back from spring break. Well, the deal is report cards are due Wednesday at noon. And we like to give us time. They give us once a quarter to have a professional day. And they, for whatever reason, don't really have like in-person meetings on these days. And there's so many people that don't even come in to work on this day. I'm like, well, I'm not giving up a sick day when I don't have any students in the classroom. And that's a full 7 hours to be working, like organizing and planning and we have 45 days left of school, and I definitely plan on doing an ABC countdown. And so 26 days of school is going to like come by real quick. So if
Oh,
I
wow.
don't plan the ABC countdown now, then it's not going to happen. And I desperately want it to happen. So I've got a lot on my to-do list tomorrow, but I also have a lot of time to do stuff. So I'm excited. And it's like good to ease into fourth
That's
quarter.
nice. They give you that day because I
Mhm.
feel like you come back and you need that transition day, especially
Mhm.
after being gone for, 10-ish days.
Yes.
Because if you
Right.
include the weekends with spring break, it's about 10 days.
Right.
So that's really
Yeah.
nice that they do that.
We had that at the end of winter break too, and I know the parents don't like it. I know they don't because it's an extra day where they have to figure stuff out. I get it,
Mhm.
but like think about how much better off your children are when they come back and the teacher is ready and just, has their head on straight for them to come back for the last part of the year. And like it's now full on into testing season, and we're testing in a month. So we need to be ready for all of that. But that was my spring break. Pretty simple with the trip. And yeah.
I wish we had that day after spring break, just like we do after winter break. But they leave that optional to us in winter break. If we have all of our stuff done, we don't have to come in. But yeah, our spring break starts next week, and then we end our break with Easter. So like that sometimes is like spring break with that Easter weekend in there kind of makes it difficult sometimes to travel and then to try to get everything back ready for school. And then we turn around, we come back, and then that Wednesday we go on our field trip. And then the next week or 2 weeks, it's like full on testing again, which last week we took the ELA checkpoint 3. So that was our last checkpoint for reading. And then we take the math one this Tuesday. And then after spring break, we test. And then we were told we're going to do NWA again on top of I Learn at the end of the year. I'm like,
Ooh.
can we be done?
Mhm.
But hopefully next
Where
year
did
with the
all
new
this testing
curriculum.
come from?
I hate it. I absolutely
What?
hate it. All we do is test.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I'm
But
so glad it's not just like Florida teachers that are feeling it. I'm so glad.
Mm-mm.
yeah,
It's
Like I'm not
nationwide.
glad. Yeah. But like why? Why is education turned into that? I don't understand.
Just test,
right.
test, 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 test.
It's like you take away the fundamentals and the learning socialization and all those other life skills for that academic piece, but and they're forgetting that balance that we need. But
Mhm.
yeah. So before I forget, because I was going to share this last week and then we didn't have time. So you guys will be surprised to hear this as much as we were all surprised to hear it. So you know how like we have had a lot of fun taken away from us this year because of the academics and our precious instructional time and what we need to get rid of because it affects our instruction time and yada yada. Well, we got an email not last week, but it would have had to be the week before from our bosses, our principal and assistant principal, that they are giving us the gift of time. And usually, when we see gift of time, that means no meetings in the morning, like we've got that time to ourselves. No,
Yeah.
this is even better. And my guess is that it has come from our assistant principal because she does a lot of like TikToks and she sees all these ideas and she goes for it. So they are doing a session in the morning and then a session in the afternoon for the lower grades, and ours is in the morning. That they are pulling all of 3, 4, and 5 in the morning, K1 and 2 in the afternoon, for 2 hours in the gym to watch a movie while the teachers have the gift of time to themselves. Yeah, they're pulling all 3, 4, and 5 into the gym for a movie, and then all K1 and 2 for a movie in the afternoon. And then at 2 o'clock, we're doing the pie in the face that Thursday before spring break because we don't have school Friday. We were just like mouths dropped, like, what? They're actually gonna pull kids to watch a movie because movies are always frowned upon, and they're
Yes.
giving us 2 hours to ourselves, like to go
That's
plan,
amazing.
to have a mocktail in the lounge. That's what she even put, mocktail. I was like, whoa. But we had a meeting, our sippin' snacks meeting, which is one representative per grade level that meets with the principals once a month to go over like ideas and plans because they want us to have a say. And I'm the fourth grade representative. And when we were in there this past week, I just like at the very end when we do like growth, grows and whatnot, I was just like, I just want to speak on behalf of everybody else that we really appreciate you doing that for us. And she even like acknowledged, like, I know we have taken away a lot of things from you guys and have taken away of a lot of those extra things because of those instructional blocks. And this is our way to like give back to you guys. Like, well, at least you're acknowledging it. And we do appreciate that. So the kids are encouraged to bring a blanket or beach towel to lay down in the gym to watch a movie. They're going to watch Zootopia 2. So I'm just impressed.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's incredible. That is like the best gift. Sometimes they come around with like a snack card or like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
No.
But that's
No.
also a gift to the kids. Like, it's not just us, you're gifting the
Yeah.
Yeah.
kids,
Not just
which
y'all.
That is a
yeah.
win-win. And they
Yeah,
don't
so
do they
they've
expect you all to like meet together or they're just giving
no,
you like
they're just
whatever
giving
you're
us the time. Like, so we don't have to meet as a team if we don't want to. That's our
I'd
time.
be like, "Sorry guys. Sorry guys, I'm going to get everything organized for after spring break and just
Right? Yeah,
get that
that's
all
probably what I will
together."
do. Yeah. Which it's
Yeah.
nice because I guess they put a thing out for parent volunteers because I'm like, oh, they're gonna. And I even told the bosses at our meeting, I'm like, you're gonna do it this year and be like, what were we thinking? And probably never want to do it again. But we appreciate that you're doing it this year for us because it's gonna get crazy loud in the gym. It echoes, but they've got parent volunteers coming in to help with it, and then we got the pie in the face at the end of the day for our fundraiser thing. So it'll just be, yeah. But we're still supposed to have our math and reading instructional minutes that day. So it'll just be fun ways of doing reading and math. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to that. And then we get the tortoise this Tuesday because we're tortoise sitting. So we pick the tortoise up Tuesday and we'll have the tortoise till Sunday. So to be not determined, but you'll on our
Well,
next
I
I'm
feel
excited.
like
podcast,
Yeah.
you will
you
hear
could
all the
write
tortoise
a
stories.
children's book. Well, like between your tortoise, your cat, this cat that shows up at your house, and your
Which I'm
dog. Like that's just like a children's book waiting
I
to be
cannot
written.
believe the neighbor came to get it's it's their brother who used to live with them. I'm really surprised that he walked
Mhm.
over to come get the cat because when they've been over before, like, the people who actually live there, they're like, "Yeah, she wanders." I'm like, "Oh, she's okay." They've never had an issue, but I'm like I guess he said, "You've been outside long enough, so I wonder if they keep her inside." I don't know. But I'm like, "You came over to grab the cat? The cat's completely content and fine."
She's
So,
fine.
I
She's hanging out
don't
with you.
you might have hopped on after Becky. I was telling her the neighbor's cat has been hanging out all day today at our house, and the dog is chill with her, like, she's chill with our dog, and she's been curling up with like, the kids love her. They've named her Oreo. I guess her real name is Chunky. Because when he said he's like,
Yeah,
"Chunky's," I
chunky.
realized Chunky's been over here. So, yeah, we've had a cat over here hanging out, and yeah. So, he came to get her, but I didn't know what he was coming over for.
Sorry, I'm a little
Oh.
distracted by
By
Katie's dog.
the dog snoring? Yeah, you. Yeah, you. We're talking about you. Such a
I'm just
loud
like, really? You gotta
snoring.
keep snoring like that? Oh, she's stretching now. She's doing one of these.
Nice.
Yeah, they're talking about you and they're laughing at you for snoring because I'm trying to talk, but they hear you instead.
She's so cute.
hmm
Oh my goodness.
And
I
if,
was
if I showed
actually
you the rest of the couch, I've got all of them lined up and they're just all sleeping.
No, I
And
want
I'm
to
like, okay,
see.
just,
Turn the.
oh boy.
My gosh. Oh my gosh.
and then,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your
so
fur
that is
babies.
like my view. They're all sleeping. I'm like, just keep
Yeah.
taking your naps and don't, disturb the piece besides this one who's just snoring.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
like,
I was
okay,
telling
whatever.
Katie before you hopped on, Becky, that we had to keep it short last week because you had to hop off. And I was like, we're going to have to keep it short, today since I have to leave to take him to practice. And I said, it was actually really nice last week with it being shorter. The editing was super easy and we didn't have like interruptions last week. But then
Mm-hmm.
we've already had our
Mm-mm.
fair share of interruptions today. So couldn't get
Yeah,
started on
okay.
time because the neighbor was walking over. We needed to know how to cook mashed potatoes and I falling out already. And we're only 17 minutes in. So, yay.
Fine.
Life interrupted.
So I don't really have a rodeo fun fact this week, but I have a crazy story about a rodeo.
So it's Texas related because I don't know why, but I've had this thirst and like need for another Texas fact. Like,
Also, I love
Okay,
how
so
she's like,
next
can I?
weekend-
You don't have to ask, just share.
So I'll get to the rodeo in a minute because next weekend I'll have like a huge story to tell next week because I'm doing a 200-mile relay race across
yes.
Texas.
Yes.
And it starts in a city called Gonzales, Texas. And if you know anything about Texas history, that is where the Texas Revolution started. And so many, many years ago, when the Texans and the Mexicans were fighting, they stole one of the cannons from the Mexicans and buried it in Gonzales, Texas, and put a flag in the mound. And the flag says, "Come and take it," with a cannon on it. And so part of this race is based off of the Texas Revolution, the cannon, and the "come and take it." And so we start it in Gonzales, and starting each team that starts their relay, you set off the cannon. And so last year I got to set off the cannon. This year we're going to let somebody else do it because we take turns. And last year it was my first time, and I was a teacher and I taught Texas history. So like my team captain was like, "No, Katie has to do it." But this year I'm going to vote for like one of my friends who I recruited to this team to do it because it's just so much fun. But like part of the route is along the route that they took to fight the Texas Revolution. And so we'll pass like all these historical markers. We'll pass Sam Houston's house. And so I'll share all the things from like next weekend. We'll record later, but like when y'all see me, I will definitely be like running off of fumes because you only get like a 2-hour nap over 36 hours. So that's going to be so much fun. But I'm taking Monday off work so that I can sleep. Yes. I'm packing tons of those in the ice chest to take with me. So Alani or Celsius will be fueling
Yes.
my race next week.
Yes. Yes.
But
I love it.
no, that'll be next weekend. But this past weekend, well, the weekend last weekend when we recorded, there was a like mass brawl at the rodeo. And it made the news and they had to shut down the rodeo like 3 hours early. They kicked people out of the carnival. I mean, it was like there were just I kept seeing videos of like all these fights going on. And I'm just like, okay, this never happens. Like people don't act crazy at the rodeo. Like what's going on? Come to find out this past week that Houston has become the new spring break hotspot. And I'm like, why? It used to be Miami, no longer Miami. Now it's Houston. And I'm like, but why? And they've come to the rodeo. They're going to the beach. They're just going to all these places because Houston's the place to be. So they're also showing up in like very inappropriate clothing to the rodeo. And so Monday morning, they announced that there will be a dress code that will be strictly enforced on the rodeo. This is this past Monday, a dress code that was strictly enforced and that they were having heightened security because of all the craziness. And I was like, I'm texting my friends who did not live here and moved here. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, this is not normal. Like, we've never had this. I think it's because now Houston is the spring break spot, which I'm like, please go somewhere else. Don't come here. But I think it's just TikTok and social media, people coming here and blowing up our food. Like we have a really good food scene. Like we have incredible food. Oh, he came back for his Switch.
He did. So sorry, not here's another interruption. No, I was trying to bribe him to get dressed because I knew when we got off we needed to go. So I took the Switch away and said as soon as he was dressed, he could have it. I think the amount of crying is why the eye came out. But you want to tell the girls what happened? I said, how did it come out? Were you rubbing it? And what did you say?
They shoot it out.
He said he was holding it. It shooted out. He goes, I like the shooted part. You look up so they can see. At them. All right, go play. At least he didn't throw a fit too long. He's fine now
Mm-mm.
until he hears that daddy's going to put it back in. He
Boo.
looks at me and no.
So today's the last day of the rodeo. And I can't tell you how many people are thankful that it is done and that we can go back. But one thing,
That's
I
kind
don't
of
know if y'all know
sad.
this, but yeah, it's just sad because it's not what we're about. The rodeo, why it's put on every year, just the primary purpose behind it is raising money for scholarships for students. So I can't tell you the amount of money they give each year to students to send them to college. Like it is a crazy high amount. Like they give thousands upon thousands. Actually, I think millions. I don't even want to say thousands. I want to say millions of dollars in scholarships to tons of kids. And this is primarily used to raise money for it. And the fact that they're turning it into Fight Club, but
Ugh.
you know, and it's people who don't even live here half the time too. It's out of towners. And I'm like, just, so hopefully next year doesn't turn that bad, but we're one of the World Cup locations for June and July. And it makes me a little nervous for what's going to happen come the summer. I'm not going, but I'm like, what's going to happen with the city? What kind of people are going to be coming here? It just makes you, and we're a huge city. Like we are a huge metropolis city. So I'm not blind to tons of people being here, but we're hosting one of the biggest world events,
Yeah, and
sporting events.
it's not typical that it's in the US, right? Like,
No, no.
yeah. So
Like
that's a big deal.
when they put in the bid for this, however many years ago, I was like, okay. And they were like, nope, and our food scene will be great. The city will come together and, try to host all these people, but you're bringing tons of people from different walks of life all together. And then you're throwing in soccer that some people are extremely passionate about. So it's going to get very interesting, to say the least.
But see, okay, we did get a Texas fact because I want to bet that not many people know that the rodeo is used as a fundraiser for scholarships.
Mhm.
So, yes, good. Wow.
A little bit of bad, but like, a cool thing about the rodeo.
Okay, random Texas question. So my students were looking something up the other day. I don't even know what it was they were looking up. And they're like, there's a Pickle Elementary. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, look. I don't know what they were. Oh, they were having to type in our elementary name to get onto something. And I don't know why they started writing pickle, but, fourth graders. And it showed Pickle Elementary in Texas. Do you know where Pickle Elementary is in Texas?
No, but I'd believe it. Because, there's different towns that are super passionate about different things.
Yeah.
We have one town that they go gung-ho on a strawberry festival. We have another one that goes gung-ho on watermelon festival. We're going to have our Bluebonnet Festival here in about 3 weeks. So I'll be going to that. So I'll tell y'all all about the Bluebonnet Festival, which it is wildflower season right now. So like next weekend when I go on my race, I'll go amongst all these wildflowers. I'll probably have tons of pictures of the bluebonnets and the Indian paintbrushes, all of the beautiful wildflowers that grow here in Texas. Um, but yeah, it's getting to where it's like festival season to where it's like not the party festival, like the watermelon festival, strawberry festival.
So they're not Watermelon
you name
Elementary
it.
and Strawberry Elementary?
No.
But there is a Pickle
I do
Elementary
believe there is pickle.
somewhere.
Well, here's the funny thing. There's a bunch of Texas schools named after tons of people from the Texas Revolution and Texas history.
I could see that, yeah.
When I tell you Texas is prideful about their important historical people here, they are. Like the amount of Stephen F. Austin schools we have, the amount of we have a university, Sam Houston University, but then like elementaries, junior highs, high schools, Sam Houston, Davy Crockett, he was another one. Like tons of them. Now we do not have a Santa Ana anything. He's the villain in the Texans story. We don't have any of those, but
Again, we have so much filled into such a short amount of time. But I can't believe like how many stories we have to share every week and
how sidetracked they
this
get.
is just oh my gosh. Yeah, but good information.
I know.
So
I
now
love it.
this week we had like frozen iguanas, an eye falling out. We had the rodeo
shooting out
again. And just your gift of time. I am so excited for you guys to have that time. That's unheard of.
I can't wait. So I can't wait to share all of that with you guys next week and how it turned out and the start of my break and how tortoise sitting went. So lots of updates to share next week when we come back. Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you like what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher bestie, mom group chat, or training partner, or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Until next time, keep showing up.
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
One
sip at a time.
time.